Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Crampy Koala Bear. Enjoy the 100th episode extravaganza with a crisp Koala Koala. Koala Koala, it tastes just like Down Under. Introducing your host, Dr. London Down Under Koala Koala Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, Dr. LondonSmith.com. Now, you may have heard a little something new in the disclaimer.
Yes.
And that is because this is our 100th episode extravaganza. Okay.
Yes, 100.
The whole crowd's going nuts. We have this huge, presentation here.
I thought it was 99. No, it's 100.
Yes. It's 99. Wow. No, it is 100. 93. I thought the show was 93.
Nope. No, it's 100.
No. Okay. Sorry. For those in the audience who are protesting, no, it is the 100th episode. We've done. This is number 100 in sequential order. And I'm sorry for all that. Cameron, this is our producer, Cameron.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm trying to know what can I for the 100th episode, since we're going to be embracing ourselves maybe in the future. Maybe I'm going to try out a little more cooler introduction. So give me a cooler introduction. Say, this is Cameron or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it again.
Oh, so you're okay. When you say try out a cooler introduction,
you do cooler and I do cooler.
Okay,
Both of us do cooler.
Hey, so this is our producer, Cameron. He's the one with sunglasses on.
And something about fish. Something about
okay.
Something about fish.
No, and I hate to.
What if I say like fish? The fish on the hook. Got my fish on the hook.
Yeah, well, I guess that's an option. So we can sort of keep troubleshooting.
So give it to me again. Start it over.
You want it? Okay. Okay. Here's Cameron with sunglasses.
Hey, Dr. London, we've got the fish on a hook.
All right. So, anyway, that's producer Cameron. I'm drlondonsmith.com, and we are excited to announce that we are joining a new podcast network as part of our 100th episode extravaganza.
This is extremely exciting. We have been with 2 different podcast networks so far over the life cycle of this show. And we're actually not allowed to speak about either of our previous podcast networks through... Well, what?
Well, I want to clarify something here. So I didn't know some of the things about, and I don't want to get specific, but there might have been some harm done to someone allegedly, and the one who allegedly did that harm may have had their name be the name of the podcast network, and that's what we were associated with. I didn't realize that.
The person who ran the podcast network had posted some questionable things online. So we just wanted to distance ourselves from her, Casey Anthony. And we are now on a brand new network. We're actually the first and so far only show on this new network.
Yes, which that to me just means we can spread our roots. We can really grow. So... it's a giant...
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of pioneers, because now any other show that ends up on this network is sort of under our wings. Like, we're going to be able to show them the ropes.
We're carrying them, yeah.
For the next 100 episodes at least, because that's what we've signed the contract for, we are on the Koala Koala podcast network.
Did someone say Koala Koala?
Yes, I think someone did. Everyone's favorite soda, Koala Koala. It's the podcast network for the number 1 koala-based cola.
Yeah, and one thing that I need to read here is that there are no koala parts in the cola. That's just a little thing. Hey, that's right. There are no koala parts in the Koala Koala. And why even talk about it?
Oh, Crampy. So for those who don't know, which I can't imagine many people don't, the spokesperson for Koala Cola is, of course, Crampy Koala. Say hi, Crampy.
Hey, hello, and say hello to...
Crikey, Crampy, where'd you go, mate? Oh, there he is. That blimey koala's always getting away from me.
Wait,
hello.
Who are you?
My name's Reggie Boomerang, and I am Crampy's handler. So I make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble, if you know what I mean.
Interesting. Okay, so let me paint a picture, because so much has happened in the last 90 seconds real quick. So we of course have Koala Cola's spokesperson and beloved character, Crampy Koala. Crampy, say hi again.
Hello.
We also have Crampy's professional handler, because Crampy Koala is a koala. You know, you're an animal. Let's be real for a second, even though you can talk and laugh and sing, because you're a big singer. That's a big part of the campaign.
His whole thing.
You need a handler, and I get that. And so that Reggie, you said your name was Reggie Boomerang?
That's right, my name's Reggie Boomerang. Reggie short for Regemite.
Oh, Regemite Boomerang. That is a very authentic Australian-y name.
Yeah.
It may be a common name, but I'm the one and only Reggie Boomerang.
You're the one. Yeah, I mean, I can tell. So, I mean, Crampy, do you get along with your handler well? I'm a bit confused on the dynamics here, because Crampy, you're a kind of a big celebrity, and you have sort of this professional guardian, mentor, agent, I'm not exactly sure, handler.
Well, you know, every famous person's got to have a more stable person behind him.
Sure,
so, like,
yeah.
like maybe he's like Justin Bieber and I'm like Hailey Bieber.
Yeah, you're Scooter Braun.
Yeah, something like that. You know, I keep him under control.
Okay, well, he's hopping around the room now.
Yeah, Crampy Koala is hopping around the room a lot. Hey, Crampy, you can just sit down. There's no reason to be all over the place. There's no cameras. This is actually a podcast, so it's better if you stick by the microphone. Okay, Crampy is going crazy. Well, okay.
He's used to being out in the outback, so it's he's getting used to the indoor vibe. You know, he's not been around microphones too much.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. He's usually on camera and around boom mics only, so I definitely get the confusion.
Yeah, it's a big change.
Well, I mean, this is amazing. I'm glad to have both of you on the show. And I actually, can we Crampy, do you need anything? Shane, can you grab whatever Crampy needs? Crampy, do you need do you drink the koala soda?
Oh, don't give him anything, mate. He's got plenty of snacks in his pouch.
Oh, okay. So you do keep snacks in your pouch.
Yeah, for sure. We give him all kinds of stuff in his pouch, dingo meat, what have you. You know.
That Crampy has spoken so little. It's mostly just been a series of laughs. I thought Crampy was going to be a little more involved in this.
Well, I'm more the brains behind the operation. He's just he's very photogenic for a koala, so they like him.
What is going on, Reggie? Crampy was about to talk, and you just interrupted him. Are you trying to not let him speak?
Well, sometimes I'm just worried about what he might say. You know, I mean. I trust him with a lot of information I wouldn't really necessarily want out, but he's kind of got no filter. He's a loudmouth koala, you know how they are.
So, I just want to,
Wait, hold on for a second. So the reason you don't trust Crampy isn't because he might say something questionable. It's because he might say a secret you've told him.
Well, I don't know for sure, but I would hope he wouldn't tell anybody all that stuff. But I mean, when you're out in the outback and you're lonely and you're just wandering around with a koala, you got to talk to somebody. And even if I talk to myself, he's hearing me. So he's got a bit of information on me now. I won't say what that kind of information is, but some of it's not the best. It's not something I'd want everybody to know, so that's why I kind of keep him a little under control.
Yeah, but you have no problem telling people that there's something you're hiding, which is right now.
Well, everybody's got something to hide. I just don't want them to know how serious it is.
Yeah. And again, I mean, it just sounds like you're undermining yourself, but I kind of like it. You're very honest, Reggie. I like that about you.
try to be, after, just after traveling, I actually did an expedition. It was more of like a soul-searching journey.
Yeah.
I just went straight through the steakhouse for like 3 months straight. And all I ate was dingo meat and sand. And it was
The
a
classic
crazy
Australian.
experience. And that's actually...
And when you say the
yeah, I mean,
steakhouse, you're talking about
we're talking about the desert, the outback.
Outback Steakhouse.
And,
Okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah, we all call it the steakhouse. That's why there's a steakhouse called Outback, actually, because it was called Outback, and they decided to say steakhouse because, the similarities there.
It's so fun to learn about other cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. We're very cultured. We have the Outback, and we have the Great Barrier Reef. We've got, all kinds of
ton of
Great
culture.
Barrier Reef. Oh, that is his catchphrase. Yeah.
Oh, Crampy's catchphrase is Great Barrier Reef. I thought he had a different catchphrase. Or I guess the cola has a slogan that Crampy says quite a bit, which we actually are contractually obligated to say a few times on this episode.
Yes.
So if
we
we
all-
could get
let's take a
DJ Dylan,
drink.
if you can get the slogan real quick, and then we can get a few picks. So Crampy, go ahead and hold the koala cola, and then go ahead and say the ad.
Hey, tastes just like down under.
Try to do koala cola. Tastes just like down under. Do you include the koala cola up top?
Hey, Koala Koala tastes just like down under. Hey. Oh, well, he's hopping around a lot.
He's hopping around a lot. I think we're good. DJ Dylan, you got that right.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's-
yeah. Okay. So we're good.
I can't help but feel like maybe they wanted us to say it because Crampy is, they have him all the time, and we're the ones who are, being do you see what I mean? So I'm gonna.
Well, I mean it's not specified, but it says it a minimum of 10 times in the episode.
Okay.
So I think that can just be shared among all of us.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry, that was kind of a long introduction for all of this, but it's there's so much to unpack here. There's a lot going on, but we don't want to neglect our listeners, so
right. Okay, so yeah, maybe Crampy and Reggie, can you guys hold off on a second while we do our little fun intro part of the show? Do you guys want to play games on my phone?
Yeah, I love that, mate.
Okay, so here, go ahead and play games on my phone.
You have Angry Birds.
And hey, Shane, can you hand Reggie my phone?
And Shane,
sorry, sorry, I forgot to tell everyone. We've got Shane here, our intern
Shane
today.
Fleg.
He's here every single day, of course, because he lives in the attic. But
yeah, I mean, I've been here long enough to probably not be called an intern on air anymore. Don't you think? I'd kind of.
what?
Well, I think.
I mean,
What do you? What else?
I think it's a legal thing because if we called you anything else, then there'd have to be a change in your compensation, which is currently college credits.
Yeah, even though I'm not even in college.
Yeah, but you're ready for it.
I mean,
now.
I guess, yeah. After I get so many college credits racked up from this internship, it'll be like I have a degree.
Yeah, you just
basically.
apply to college and then they give you a degree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
if I get enough hours.
yeah, which keep working on it. But yeah, I do want to bring up because we kind of Shane has been great at being quiet, like a good intern is. A good sound engineer doesn't really make noise, so. We did want to kind of give you your chance to. You can be on mic on this episode. This is our 100th episode extravaganza. So
Yes.
we want to bring you in for it. But before we do any of that, I do want to apologize to our listeners. I normally do this at the top, but once again, it's just we have this audience here. So much was going on. And
this is a new feature that we're going to be doing from here on out, which is we apologize to our listeners at the beginning of every episode.
That's right. Well, so I would like to begin here by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've used in the past, such as lactational mastitis and 100th episode extravaganza. So I will try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future.
And I want to apologize for bad weather. I'm not going to say that I have any necessarily control over bad weather, but we do know that the weather is affected by things like global warming and emissions and things like that. And I'm going to be honest, Dr. London, I haven't been as green as I probably should be.
Yeah.
I still drive a gas-powered car. I've got my big old TV on all the time.
Well,
and so in a way, I am the reason that there is bad weather, and I want to apologize that to our listeners as my first apology on our 100th episode in this new format.
And also I would say like your attempts to go green have just been, either with paint or with just trying to make yourself nauseated. So that's like to make your skin physically turn green. I feel like the green initiatives.
You're saying the paint? I know the paint thing is an issue because of how many dead fish end up like kind of on the side of the river where I'm covering myself in the paint.
Yeah.
Because I'm just kind of discarding the buckets and the leftover paint and just straight into the
lead
river.
Paint as well, which I don't.
Oh yeah, it's old as hell.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where like I feel there is a better way, which I'm glad you addressed it. Like I guess you've done some research to know that, gasoline, fuel burning and things like that can.
I didn't do research as much as there was an expose on me in the New Yorker. It was sort of a top 10 list of the biggest causes of global emissions. Yeah. And it was mostly oil companies and like farming industry and stuff like that. But right around 7 was me.
And then they did
it just said Cameron.
It was really neat that they did a profile on you because they also included some of your dating habits. And, it was nice that they did a full.
It was a lot about my day to day.
In any case, also with us is Digital in the House.
Yes.
Yo, this party stinks. Smell like it sensationally reeks. Smells like they're boiling 300 hot dogs in the back. Kind of smells like Down Under. Ugh. It doesn't go away. It just kind of follows you everywhere.
Yo, this party stinks.
Yo, this party stinks. I can see the smell creeping in from the back. Hiding in my shirt, my nose is under attack. Racking my brain, trying to escape this hell. Wondering if I've lived a life outside of the smell. Wondering if I'll ever get it out of my clothes. But it doesn't really matter if it's burned in my nose. I feel like I'm transforming. Hi, my name is Smell. I live in a smell. I am a smell. You can reach me at smell.
I would also, so we have some more listener feedback. So this one came through. I understand that our, the spokesperson for the podcast network, Crampy Koala, he apparently he tracked this down. That's how I got this, is what I'm saying. So the note from our listener reads, I cannot stand for the flag anymore. It is because of my many diseases, end quote. So, thank you for reaching out to us here at the, this new Koala Koala podcast network. So a lot of times people, if you have diseases that render you, differently unable to stand, then
permanently sitting.
Yeah, then I think that it is fair, like that it is okay for you to not stand for the flag. I don't see that as an obligation.
I don't know. I mean, what is dedication? Is it not sometimes sacrifice? Is it not sometimes difficult and hard, and it pushes you?
Yeah, I guess
to maybe go a little further than yourself.
So I'm thinking of, if they have, say, some muscular or neurological disorder where the disease physically prevents them from being able to use their legs.
I'm sorry. Was Bernie at Weekend at Bernie's able to move around? And yet people were able to attach strings to him and operate him like a puppet. So if they wanted him to stand for the flag, they would be able to do that. So I mean, already your logic is
It's
very
full of
faulty,
holes.
Dr.
Yeah.
Lemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I guess I see what you mean. Maybe, you know what? I don't have all the answers on it.
Betty White has been dead for 7 years.
Okay. Well, so okay. Anyway, to this listener, thank you for listening. Now for today's medical topic, and this is for all you in the audience here today who are, raise your glass for the sponsor. Today's topic is acute alcoholic hepatitis. Acute alcoholic hepatitis is an inflammation of the liver in which the liver becomes fatty and tends to happen due to binge drinking, which is when you drink at least 4 or 5 servings of alcohol within a 2-hour period. And it's, of course, often whenever people do that, chronically. Clinically, patients can present with jaundice.
Unless it's part of Flip Cup. You forgot to mention that. I'm sorry. We should really clarify that this doesn't apply to like drinking games.
Okay, so I maybe that's. I was gonna say it's a common misconception, but I don't know that it is a common misconception. But when I say servings of alcohol, that's because I know you've made exception for, say, the giant goblets, and I know you said drinking games. The giant goblets, you say, only count as 1 drink.
You're saying that you could still get this disease if you're playing Rage Cage, but not, say, like King's Cup.
I'm saying that you could get it from any of these drinking games if you drank, sufficient quantities of alcohol. That's
well, I mean, if you're doing good at the game, then you won't be drinking that much.
So
I mean, maybe this is more about your skill level more than it is actually about disease.
Yeah, you think it's my own insecurities that
yeah.
that I'm projecting onto my medical practice.
Yeah,
Okay.
If you don't want to fall into this category, maybe be a little bit better at beer pong.
Okay, noted. For now, this is at least it's going to be my clinical recommendation for the moment, but I will revisit it.
Yeah,
based on your criticism.
And so just to clarify again, this disease does not apply to drinking games if you're good at the games.
So clinically, patients can present with jaundice, and that's, when your skin, well, especially the sclera of your eye, goes yellow. They can have anorexia, weight loss over a few months with right upper quadrant pain. Patients can also have ascites, which is sort of a generalized swelling, as well as liver tenderness and fever. And remember, the liver tenderness is that's on the right-hand side, the right upper quadrant of your abdomen. So it's actually...
And is that stage right?
Yeah, yes, that would be stage right from the perspective of the performer. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Under the ribs is where normally the liver is, but if it's large and inflamed, then you can actually feel it below the ribs, and it'll be tender there. So, and tender means you can push on it physically and make pain happen.
Yeah, that can't be right because I'm doing that right now and it hurts like hell.
Okay, so maybe you have a liver issue. Okay, that's really just a thing to go to the doctor for. But so patients can also have fever as well. Laboratory studies tend to show an AST greater than an ALT, and the way I remember that is AST, I think, sipping, like sipping on a drink. So an AST greater than an ALT, an elevated GGTP and bilirubin, and an elevated INR and prothrombin time, and that's PT for short. For this diagnosis, you must exclude viral and drug-induced hepatitis. If the discriminant factor is greater than 32, you'll treat with steroids. And if you're wondering, what's the discriminant factor? Well, that is the patient's PT minus the control PT.
Wasn't wondering that in any capacity.
Times 4.6 plus bilirubin.
And you have to clarify that AST, the way you remember that is by sipping, but that's only because you sip by going ass. I feel like you need to mention that. You can't just assume that people know that.
Well, yeah. So we all have our. I shouldn't say we all. And that's whenever I drink anything. It doesn't have to be, an alcoholic beverage. I'll
Koala Cola.
Yes, and sorry, I should say, it tastes just like Down Under. Sorry, Down Under. It is written with AH.
And you should probably clarify that Koala Cola does not cause any of these issues.
Yeah, to my knowledge, it's not. Well, it's only slightly alcoholic. It's not enough to actually. It's enough for them to start putting it into liquor stores, but not enough to sell it as a strong beverage. Which
Right. So
I
Crampy
guess is
Koala,
a marketing ploy.
the drink's safe, right?
Yes, my understanding. Oh, sorry, you're talking to me.
I was
our-
talking to Crampy Koala.
Hey!
There we go.
Hey, Koala Cola is the safest drink you can have. Just
Whoa.
don't have it while you're driving or while you're performing surgeries.
Wow.
I can verify it's safe too, mate. I mean, when I was going through the steakhouse, that's all we drank because the water's not too safe out there if you can even find any. So we mostly just drank Koala Cola.
Wow,
Yes.
Koala Cola, safer than water. Just don't drink it while operating a vehicle or performing surgery.
And it tastes good too. Tastes just like Down Under.
It tastes just like Down Under. I think that's
Exactly,
4 times
mate. I'm
already.
from there. I know the taste.
Right, and so, anyway, so treatment for acute alcoholic hepatitis is to treat the underlying disease and manage complications because, once again, this is once the liver gets involved, very sick, then there's kind of a lot to cover. But anyway, severe alcoholic hepatitis actually has a 50% mortality, so it is something to really watch for and to, bear strongly in mind.
Sometimes, sorry to butt in, but I've read a lot about
Shane,
this. Yeah, I've read a lot about this actually, and a lot of times people think they have hepatitis, but it's actually a gizzard infection, not a liver thing.
Wow.
So-
Those two people get those confused a lot.
And this is for maybe our new listeners. Shane is very involved in our intern. Shane is very involved in the scientific community as also the alternative medicine community. And so he knows a lot of stuff that Dr. London has been paid to not talk about.
Yeah, he's
Things like the cumin gizzard, all of these things.
Well, yeah, I mean, people a lot of times will tell you that gizzards, aren't found in humans, but the same people tell you that appendixes don't exist, and so you just have to take everything you hear with a grain of salt, unless you hear it from me, basically, because I do
Yeah.
my research extensively.
yeah, I've seen.
And because you heard a doctor say that you don't have an appendix, and you took that as
Well, yeah, I mean, it's obviously he said some people don't even have appendixes.
Well, he said that
Do you believe that?
post-op, right? You were in the waiting room after.
He didn't say anything about an op. He just said some people don't have appendixes.
Okay, but this was after you were hospitalized with, pain in your right side, that right lower quadrant in your abdomen.
Yeah, and they said it was appendicitis, but honestly, how could they know? If some people don't have it, maybe I was just born without it.
wow.
Yeah. Okay.
And see, these are the things that Dr. London has been afraid to talk about. Thank you.
So
Shane,
I'm not even sure that they removed it, or if I was born without it after what I heard that doctor say.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I feel like you were maybe selectively listening, but in any case, thank you for.
Well, here's what I think happened. I think I was born without an appendix, like that doctor said. Some people don't have an appendix, and what I think they did was said they took my appendix out, but really they took my gizzard out because I recently had some X-rays and I don't have a gizzard either.
And does that affect your day-to-day life? Have you been nauseous?
It just feels a little roomy inside. It just feels roomy in there. I can, you feel the spacing. I'm able to eat more than I used to, so that's why I've started putting on some weight.
And when you can
things like that.
You can shake around and you can sort of feel it.
Yeah, and I used to enjoy the feeling of my gizzard.
Wow.
Hey, a great barrier reef.
Okay, Crampy Koala, sit back down. Shane, can you catch him and put him in the chair?
It's all right, mate. I got him, mate. Sorry,
No.
sometimes he gets a little cranky, don't you, Crampy? Because I give him snacks and stuff, but sometimes little Joey in there has a bite to eat. That's baby Dinky in there.
Oh, wait.
Baby Dinky, hungry.
Wait, okay, so Crampy Koala is a mother.
Actually, he's a father, But usually the males don't have babies, but somehow he did, and he's got a little pouch there for snacks, but also for the baby, little baby Dinky in there, we call him.
Okay, so Crampy Koala is a koala that gets pregnant like seahorses do, where the male gets pregnant.
Yes.
And has given birth to a little Joey that lives inside his pouch named, what was its name again?
Baby Dinky.
Baby Dinky?
Yeah, it's Dinky, but we call him Baby Dinky because he's a little baby.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, hey, can I talk to Baby Dinky a little bit?
Yeah, you can try. He
I mean,
doesn't
will
always
he
answer.
talk?
Sometimes he gets a little excited too.
Hey, little Baby
Hey,
Dinky.
Baby Dinky?
Little Baby Dinky, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, wow.
Hey!
You really are a tiny little Joey, aren't you?
Baby Dinky, tiny and cute, but has a bad temper.
Oh, no. So you even have a worse attitude than your father, huh?
Baby Dinky grew up in the steakhouse. Baby Dinky get mad.
Wow, Baby Dinky is a lot more aggressive than your father. This is interesting. And this is just part of the campaign. Is that right, Reggie?
Yeah, it's part of the campaign. It was more of like a mistake that we adapted to, because originally it was just supposed to be me and Crampy, but, sometimes accidents happen, and, Baby Dinky came along, and we just had to kind of go with it,
No, I mean, I think it's working out well. Baby Dinky is extremely memorable. I already remember him. And he sounds, honestly, more articulate than Crampy.
Yeah, well, he spent his whole life in a pouch, so, he hasn't had much time to develop an accent, anything like that. He hasn't been very educated. He's still illiterate, so...
No, I was saying he's more articulate than
Right,
Crampy.
that's because he doesn't have an Australian accent like us.
Oh, okay, yeah. Articulation, right.
It's not really something we do.
actually-
It's not one of we're good at lots of things, but that's not one of our strong points necessarily because we focus on survival down here,
Yeah.
So
You're busy. You're too busy to articulate things well. So the little Joey hasn't adopted to the Australian lifestyle yet.
yeah,
That's very interesting.
yeah, we do what
I
we
mean,
gotta
Crampy,
do.
how you didn't even tell me that you had a kid. How do you are you guys close?
Yeah, I had a kid, and by the way, I love my little Joey, my
Aww.
little baby Dinky. Hey, great burial reef. I taste just like down yonder.
Okay, you don't have to say your slogans and your catchphrases every single time. It's okay.
Well, it is one of those things where I think he kind of does have to. Like that's kind of his entire life is, being this mascot, being the spokesman, and
Yeah.
which, I didn't realize I thought we would keep it all surface level for this and kind of just focus on the sponsorship aspects because that's obviously new for us. And
Well, and you got to remember this sponsorship, this brand is so important to Crampy because he's got a lot in this emotionally, physically, going through the steakhouse, everything like that. But emotionally, I mean, his parents died making this cola. Like, they were the original
Wow.
koalas involved.
yeah, I read about this.
Oh, I didn't know about any of this. I want to hear this story. I mean, if it's I would
Well,
love to hear it.
basically, I can't go too much into it, but they made the ultimate sacrifice. They sacrificed themselves for this brand, so that in order that the best soda down under could be made.
Crampy, I know this might be like really, really difficult to talk about because we're talking about the loss of your parents, which is one of the worst things you can go through. Could you elaborate a little bit on sort of their impact?
Crampy, don't feel obligated to say too much about this now.
Sort of their impact in your life.
Remember what we talked about, Crampy, not too much.
Hey, Reggie committed a felony.
All right, hey, Crampy, hey, why don't you go eat your snacks? I think Baby Dinky's getting hungry.
I'm not that hungry.
Well, go do it anyway.
You're a terrible handler. I just want to throw out you. Just not all the choices you're making are great. It's just that you don't even like get out of your chair. You're just like go do You're like, go do these things.
Well, koalas aren't the smartest mammals on the planet. Marsupial, excuse me. They're not the smartest animals on this planet, so sometimes they just need some guidance. They haven't developed the frontal lobe like we have.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole thing. The frontal lobe's not developed like us.
Because your brain keeps developing until you're 25.
Yeah, and most koalas don't even live to be 25, so you can only imagine how dumb they are early in life.
Wow.
Oh, whoa. That sounded less happy than
That
before.
sounded sad. I don't know how sad it can be when I asked about talking about his parents and he immediately starts talking about he divots to Reggie's felonies.
Well, he likes to joke around that one. We spent a lot of time in the steakhouse, so...
Look,
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Lots of inside jokes, you don't have much else to do except survive.
I just want to hear the story, like the origin story of Koala Koala. Crampy, your parents came up with this soda, this cola. How did that process work? Did they discover this drink, or is it something they made in the lab?
This for you. So his parents, right? They came up with they came up with they provided the ingredients for the cola, and that's so important. That's what's so important about Koala Kola is the taste is just right. Tastes just like Down Under, and you can't get that taste from anywhere except for koalas. They have that taste.
They said, I have this, the ad copy here, and they did say that I need to read this every time that the discussion of ingredients or the origin story comes up, that the Koala Kola does not, it's not made with any koala meat. I just want to reiterate that.
Right, no koala meat whatsoever.
It's not. There's no koala in it. It's not meat, not the fur. Not the,
no
the stomach
no
juices.
koala meat. And
Skin
none of the stomach
flakes,
lining, none of the
fingernails.
none of the viscera.
the details really aren't that important. The most important thing is that it tastes just like Down Under. And I think people all around the world are curious. They want to taste it, but they don't want to travel through the steakhouse to get it like the rest of us do in Australia. So, we did the hard part. Sacrifices were made so that everyone can have a taste of the outback.
Well,
So
sacrifices are made, you mean like professionally, because to start
sure,
a business, you
all
don't
kinds of
profit for 5
sacrifice.
years.
I call lots of things sacrifices that probably aren't sacrifices, It's kind of like a slang term. But yeah, real sacrifices too, for sure.
what do you mean by not a real sacrifice? Like, I feel like you were leading into something with that.
Well, I don't want to say too much, like I said, but because I'm kind of a private person, really, when it comes to
Hey, weapon shipments.
that would be a good example, but we haven't really dealt with that. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to Crampy's mind. He's got a mind of his own. Like I said, they don't have the frontal lobe.
And he's just probably, he's talking about weapons shipments. Believe that's what he said. He's probably talking about the movie Contraband or something.
He's talking about the original shipments that came to Australia for the guards, because we had so many, outlaws and stuff from Britain, and they came down here and they had to ship guns for the guards because there weren't enough guns. So basically, that's what he was talking about.
So I don't know if this is you're just a handler for the spokesperson. So and the mascots. I get that maybe.
Well, like I said, I'm more of like the
about
Hailey Bieber to Justin Bieber.
Right. So I do want to address we have certain, I guess, trouble words that we aren't allowed to touch on, which is fine. We've all got our little things. So one thing that's made the headlines, though, that I think would just be good to address is it seemed like Crampy might have even been kind of hinting at it, is the weapons manufacturing that
like I said, we had lots of inside jokes happening out there. Honestly, you start to see mirages, you start to see visions, you start to hallucinate, and sometimes that could stick with you. Fortunately, it didn't stick with me, but I'm not so sure about Crampy, so not everything he says is quite right. Sometimes he gets a little mixed up, so don't be surprised if he says some crazy outlandish stuff.
You're saying Crampy saw a mirage of you accepting money from weapons manufacturers in order to fund Koala Koala.
Yeah, mirage can be lots of. I mean, the heat waves that they mess with the vision, and the sun's messing with your mind. You see lots of crazy stuff. Like I said, I mean, he may claim no telling what. He may claim that I detonated a
Yeah.
nuclear bomb out there,
Well, of
something
course,
like
you
that.
wouldn't
But
just mention it
obviously that's not
just
true.
without anyone asking if it was true, just like you did a second ago.
Right, like I mean, he wouldn't mention weapons dealings,
Right.
if it were true.
Hey, what about the satellite photos?
Yes, satellite
What
photos.
was that?
Yeah, I'm not.
What is
I don't even know what it is.
I feel like your involvement in this company is a little more involved than just being Crampy's handler.
Well, I've got lots of roles. That's my main one, but I'm definitely.
Crampy sensor, maybe. A little bit?
No, it's not. Well, I am supposed to keep him in. Like I said, I keep Crampy in line just because he hasn't had that frontal lobe development like
yeah.
us.
You're also speaking for him a lot. You seem to know a lot about the history and the origins of the company, but you're keeping that under wraps. You seem to be involved in like fundraising for the company and making sacrifices for the early parts of the company.
Well, I was involved earlier on, but like I said, I wanted to, I took a break. I did some soul searching. That's when we really started developing Crampy into what he is today, and that's why he came along, because I thought he may need some soul searching as well. So he came through the steakhouse with us, and like I said, he developed a little bit of mental problems, probably you could call it, because of the heat bearing down on you.
the factories for all the calls.
Yeah, see, he's absolutely mental. Like, I don't even.
So did he?
I don't know
just
what
say,
he's talking.
like, something about koalas being gone, like missing koalas from?
Yeah, well, I think he's
the
referring
factories?
to like poachers back in the day that used to come in. He's real connected to his ancestors, like a lot, like most koalas are. So it's probably something along those lines. He's.
I didn't realize that was a thing about koalas, is that they have their very
they're
ancestral
super.
connection.
Oh, they're super connected. They're very spiritual, and it's they are native of the area, so they really think back along that family line. A lot of it's closely related, so they know everyone. They know everyone who died. They know all the ancestors. They've got a lot in common. So
Wow, it's okay. So I do feel like we've been kind of dodging it. But okay, can we just? I guess if we just ask it straight out, then it'll be easy to diffuse
let
it.
me just go ahead and clear up the answer. I know the answer you're looking
Hey, hold on a second.
Hello, who?
This is Sydney Opera House. I'm Reggie's handler. I'm the handler's handler. Reggie, what are you doing? You're sinking
Hello.
the company.
Hey, I'm just clearing some things up for these fellas. They seem to be confused. Crampy's been spatting off, saying some weird stuff that, I think the heat got to his mind, like I said.
Reggie, you're getting in some deep dirt.
So
Be smarter. See ya.
so I hate to.
Wow, he ran away.
I hate to.
Well, he's a busy guy, he's got a company to take care of. So
Mr. Opera House. No, I guess Mr. Opera House is gone.
Mr. Opera House, yeah, he scurried, I guess is the best adverb to use.
Yeah, we say that one quite a bit. Scurried. Like
Oh,
Crampy
we
scurries
as
around
in-
spouting off lies.
Okay.
Or is
Yeah,
that just a
that's-
verb?
I don't know,
Scurried.
like I said, we're not very articulate. We don't know, like, grammar.
That's
and
right. I
whatnot
shouldn't
that
be
much.
asking you. Well, I mean, so Dr. Lennon, what are you trying to get at? What do you?
Well, I just want to ask straight out, because it sounded like what Crampy was hinting at was that whenever the factories where you, I guess where you package or whatever you
Oh
make
yeah,
this
Let
koala
me
cola,
clear this
the
up.
koalas
for
are
you guys,
disappearing.
so you don't. Well, no, they're not disappearing so much as they didn't exist in the first place. So that's kind of so let me just clear this up. The whole thing about Koala Kola, right?
right?
It tastes just like Down Under, and
Yes.
and sometimes
Oh.
the ingredients are much more. They're in the heart and the soul, and
Of the koalas, or
just in general. And then
Okay.
you take that and you mix it up, and you put it in there, and then Koala Kola, boom.
Okay.
That's how it happens. It's absolutely beautiful. The process, not quite as beautiful, but you know what? A lot of times
Okay,
on
well,
the inside...
This is the part, yeah, I think that Dr. London is
that's what's getting me
is
here.
curious about.
Right, but,
because you
you
keep
know,
hinting at it
every
just
process-
unnecessarily. You just mentioned that the process is sort of messed up and messy.
Well, here's the thing about processes. Let me clear this up for you, too.
Okay.
Processes, if you've ever noticed in life, every process is grimy. It's dirty. It's nasty. Nobody wants to hear about it. And you don't want to tell anybody about it because, you know what? It doesn't matter.
You don't
At
want to
the
know
end
how
of
the
day,
sausage gets made. Yeah.
The only thing that matters is the results. Nobody wants to hear that much about how I went through the steakhouse. You know, they get bored, but what do they like? They like the guy that appeared after there. Everybody loves me. And you know what? They didn't love me so much before because I was a blimey bloke. I'll tell you that straight up. I was a blimey absolute bloke.
Whoa.
And I went through, I did my soul searching. I found this incredible brand. And, well, more like found it. This incredible brand. And,
Wow. So
well,
you are like the founder of
I
Koala
said
Koala.
I said more like, you know, I didn't necessarily want to say it because I didn't want the attention, whatever. Plus, there's some legality issues and whatnot.
Oh, he's a fraud.
See what
Sorry.
I mean about that heat getting to him. He's, you know, sometimes he's not very articulate either. He appears to be articulate, but he gets a lot of words mixed up. So sometimes he doesn't even know what he's saying.
I just need clarification on whether or not koalas exist. I think this is the part that is currently tripping me out. You went through
Koalas
the
exist.
the steakhouse.
Shane, do you have an opinion on this?
Well, I've read a lot about marsupials in general. I'm pretty obsessed with marsupials. Can't say that I've ever seen anything about a koala. I watched The Rescuers Down Under as a kid, and I remember seeing a koala. But that's the only time I've ever heard anyone mention a koala, you know, post Ice Age.
Okay, so well,
After the first Ice Age?
Well, after
Or the sequels?
After the most recent Ice Age, 10,000 BC.
yeah.
Well,
or
no, Ice Age
3?
10,000 BC is a live movie, like a live action movie.
In
Whereas
that
the Ice
movie,
Age
I'm
series with
that's
like
what
Ray
I'm saying.
Romano, that's an
No,
animated series.
I'm talking about 10,000 BC, the live movie.
Okay.
If you watch that movie,
Uh-huh.
you will see in this one scene there's a koala in the background, and you know it's a koala because it's a male and it has a pouch with a baby in it. That's the only species that the males have a pouch and a baby. And that's how I know Crampy's a koala, but he's the only real one I've ever seen.
So have you been to the zoo and seen
Never.
koalas?
Never.
Oh,
I would never visit a zoo. I hate animals.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't realize. Does this make you uncomfortable? I know these animals are animated in real time, so does that help with it as opposed to the normal live animals?
Well,
you're used to?
Yeah, because I know they can't, get to me and stuff, and so it's a little.
I mean,
better.
are you scared of animals, or you just don't like animals?
No, I just don't like them. I hate them.
Okay, I mean that's fine. He's allowed to hate whatever he wants. So
Yeah, that's okay as long as you don't, harm,
I
our
definitely-
new spokesperson.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I'm any closer to the answer of whether
Do they
or not
exist?
koalas exist. But I don't know if I'm of two minds here. Either koalas don't exist, they were invented for this cola and things have gotten out of hand, or koalas in some way are utilized to create this cola.
It has to be one or
it's
the other.
really a
I don't know
conundrum.
if it has to
mate.
be one of the. Those are just my two going theories,
I
and
would
I'm
say,
fine with both of them. I just want to say, like, I like both of them.
Personally, I'd say it's kind of a mixture between the two, really.
Hey, so
Oh.
I actually have to, chime in here, and just because this whole ingredients thing came up again, I just want to, say real quick that Koala Kola is not made with any koala meat or any koala parts, and it has a list here. No koala nails were used in it. No koala pouches. No koala, once again, viscera.
But it doesn't specify scrapings. There's no mention of koala scrapings.
Well, the process doesn't involve any scrapings or anything like that.
What
so.
process?
Just, in general, the process of like I said, nobody even wants to hear about the process anyway. They care about the taste. It tastes just like Down Under, and man, it's a beautiful thing, I will say.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it does taste great. I mean, we're drinking some Dr. London Drink Up.
Yeah.
Koala Koala. This tastes just like Down Under.
It tastes
Like I
just
said,
Down
mate,
Under.
nobody cares about the process. They just care about this moment right here. Everybody's
Ooh.
got this moment the first time.
Hey, you're drinking
man, it
my
tastes just like Down Under.
ancestors.
God.
Crikey, Crampy. Sit down, Crampy.
It is. You're right. I mean, I don't want to be offensive to anyone's culture here, but Crampy does seem to struggle even more with articulation than you do.
Yeah, like I said, the heat kind of got to him,
And
He's
doesn't have the frontal lobe
going through the
developed, remember?
steakhouse. Yeah, no
Right.
frontal lobe. So it's really it's quite sad, but what can you do? He's a koala, so.
I mean, is Crampy, is his frontal lobe not developed because of
It's
something
just
you
not.
did?
No, it's just no. It's just not there. He just doesn't have one.
Oh,
Not
kind of
anymore,
like
because
Shane's appendix.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe. I mean, you could possibly compare the two. It depends on whether or not he was born with it or not.
Okay.
But there's no I don't know, lobotomies being performed on koalas
Yeah, and
as some sort
like
of
I
this
said,
process,
the process.
right?
Really, nobody's interested in the process. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. All that matters is the taste, and it tastes just like Down Under. I mean, think about Americans. They don't want to know the process. That's boring. They like speedy stuff. They want the answer. They want
Right.
results. You don't tell them about this stuff. No.
That's true. That's why everyone skips
just
over
want the
Dr.
taste.
London's medical lesson, because they're just like,
Exactly.
get past the details.
That's why nobody reads the ingredients on a bag of chips, because they know it's a bag of chips.
Oh, I thought you guys called it crisps.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Or are
you
you
mean
talking
fish and
about our
chips?
French fries? Yeah. He might be
Yeah,
referring
bag
to a
of
bag
chips.
of chips. Yeah.
I'm referring to the crunchy things that are circular and you chomp on them.
Oh
chips.
no, those are crisps. Yeah.
Crisps. And
No. Yeah, crisps. Like I said, I went through I had a lot of heat bearing down on me.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
but I'm
we
from
don't-
Australia. I swear I'm from Australia. Like, don't start down
he's
there.
a
You know.
fraud.
It's Crampy.
yes.
Crampy. Eat your snacks. I packed you
Okay.
some dingo meat, mate. Do that.
So, yeah, I also didn't. This is just a very, very much aside, but I didn't realize that koalas ate meat. I did think that they were vegetarians or something, right?
Well,
Maybe I'm thinking of something
yeah,
else.
well, a lot of times they're vegetarians, but in the steakhouse, you can't be too picky around there. And
Right,
I
Wow, yeah,
did
you
choose to. I chose to give him dingo meat. It calms him down. It turned him into a bit of a different kind of minded koala.
Okay. So,
He's
I would
not
say-
quite like he used to be.
I feel like we're kind of getting to a point where I feel like we've really introduced this new brand pretty well.
And Crampy's going to be joining us from here on out, or at least the episodes that were on the Koala Koala network.
Yeah, we're very excited to have Crampy around, and maybe from what we understand, from what we've been told, Crampy will be a really active part, almost like a third co-host potentially.
Honestly, I think we're gonna have to rain check on that because, Crampy's got he's got some appointments. So yeah, he's got some. He's real busy. Real busy.
Let me out.
We got lots of stuff we got to do. So for the brand and whatnot. So I don't know if that's gonna work out.
I'm sorry. Did he say "let me escape"?
No, he's messing around. Look at him. He's got a lot of energy pent up, so he likes to joke about escaping because he's in a room and he likes to be
Okay.
outside.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, my dog, tries to run outside sometimes,
Oh, yeah,
too. I
yeah.
get that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I guess that's a good time. Do we? So we're obviously on stage here. We've been giving this whole presentation, this unveiling of the new sponsor and everything. And I just want to, I'm sorry. Please calm down. But I do feel like, do we want to do the chores?
I think that, yes, Crampy and Reggie both should spin the chore wheel.
All right, Crampy, how about you let me do it, buddy? He doesn't have the opposable thumbs.
And while they're spinning the chore wheel, I'll give a brief explanation of what that is. Basically, we just have a huge list of to-do list chores that we haven't accomplished, doing the dishes, taking out the draft, all these different things that we've sort of neglected. And so we created a fun chore wheel, and we spin it every single week, and whatever chore it lands on, that is exactly what we do without question.
Big money, mate.
Okay, what did it land on? Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Ugh, I knew this one would come up.
I mean, great. I knew it was going to come up today. I mean, it's kind of a coincidence that it came up today.
Yeah, it seems odd.
I can't read it. What's it say there?
It says eat 100 hot dogs.
Crikey.
Yeah, okay, so...
I hope the dog's a dingo.
I
guess
think
we got to
it
accomplish this short. Is this 100 total, or is this 100 a person?
Well, I do see behind the chore wheel. Oh, they're bringing it out. They're bringing it out on the tray. Okay, now it is 100 per person, unfortunately. Okay.
Okay, so I guess we need 100 for me, 100 for Dr. London, 100 for Crampy, 100 for Baby Dinky, and 100 for Reggie. And Sydney Opera House, do you want any hot dogs? I'm a vegetarian.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It sounds like he's a vegetarian.
So I guess you'll have the vegetarian hot dogs?
He only eats Vegemite. That's what that means, Danny. So he's not going to eat a hot dog.
He just scurried away really fast.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say if there might be a Vegemite option or something, but okay. Yeah, I guess so. Chewing food on mic usually doesn't sound good. Like that's a video footage thing.
I guess we can just get DJ Dylan to edit out the chewing sounds.
Hopefully, yeah. I guess. Okay, so I guess we'll So for our listeners, this might be kind of an onerous part because we are just going to be eating and kind of talking the way you do during a family meal. At least that's what I'm guessing here going into it. Because I would, one thing that's been emphasized along with how this Koala Cola tastes just like Down Under.
Just like it, mate, don't it?
Yeah.
Tastes just like Down Under.
Along with that, they've been emphasizing how we are a family now. How Baby Dinky Koala and Crampy Koala, we're all a family now. As part of the sponsorship, as part of this podcast network, everyone's kind of supporting each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, and thank you, DJ Dylan, because I hope. Well, I'm hoping that because I've gone through at least 30 hot dogs, throughout my telling that. I've been chowing down.
Yeah,
so,
DJ Dylan has done. He's a really good editor, so I'm guessing that all the chewing noises and the coughing noises that we're making right now while we're scarfing down these hot dogs, we'll probably just cut those out so it'll sound like we're just talking normally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not talking
you've eaten more than I have because you're sort of a hot dog pro. I'm at 29.
Yeah. Well, you'll notice how I have just a whole lot of... I had them pre-dipped in water. Like, the pros do that. They'll dip it in water before they take a bite.
And it came out on the tray like that, just soaking.
Yeah. So I have an advantage because this is kind of my weekend activity usually.
And Reggie, you're eating these hot dogs in a very interesting way. Do you want to describe it a little bit? I've never actually seen someone eat a hot dog like this.
Well, you got to peel them, mate.
And it's very interesting. It's like a banana. You're peeling it open, and you've got a little, I guess, sort of banana.
Yeah, well, you got to think about this, mate. Like when we're out in the steakhouse and you're eating stuff, the outside just gets so cooked. You got to peel everything. Even if it doesn't have a peel, it develops a peel thanks to the sun.
Oh.
So, yeah, so it's just something we do as a precaution, really, so you don't eat too much carcinogens or whatever they're called, and you don't get the cancer, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cancer from the sun baking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know how you can get melanoma just from the sun cooking your skin? It does the same thing to food. You don't want to get melanoma by consumption of melanoma peels.
Yeah, people don't talk about secondhand melanoma or secondhand skin cancer
Oh,
ever.
it's very serious.
Secondhand sun radiation.
See it all the time out in the steakhouse, I'll tell you what.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Crampy, you're also eating it in a, I mean, interesting way. Is this just how koalas eat hot dogs? I didn't think it was like this.
You know, I think for him, it's just that
Wolves.
he's a little uneducated on the subject. He hasn't had too many hot dogs in his life. You know,
Well-
how koalas are always eating bananas and swinging around and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
it's different from bananas because he's all. It looks like he said all at once. It looks like he's trying to eat them all at once. It's just like a slowly.
Oh yeah, no,
like a
I'm
snake
saying
eating
he's
an egg.
used to. I'm saying he's used to just eating bananas and swinging around and whatnot like koalas do. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly. I mean, he was able to like unhinge his jaw to fit everything in, but I don't think he can breathe. Crampy, can you breathe?
Well, they actually breathe through their pouch, so
Oh,
yeah. So don't worry about it. If he looks like he's suffocating, he's not really suffocating because he can breathe fine through his pouch.
What? And you know what? I hate to point it out for everyone, but I guess while we're baby Dinky is also eating the hot dogs in a strange way.
Baby Dinky like hot dogs. They're very yummy.
Yeah. So for our listeners who
he
can't see it,
creeps me out so much. Dr. London, I'm sorry. I just have to
Yeah,
say
he's a
that.
bit of a creepy bloke, but he
It's the-
does.
The skin on him is not right. It's not.
Well, I was just gonna point
I'm
out
not a koala.
what?
He gets,
What?
he was baked in the outback
What?
too, so it's
Wait.
it's kind of
I'm an experiment.
he really doesn't know what he's talking about. So
Well,
So it.
yeah,
An ex-
he doesn't even have a back lobe either, much less a frontal lobe.
oh.
Yeah, so he's real stupid at this
Wow,
moment.
that's really sad.
That's why we call him Baby Dinky, because his brain's so dinky.
Oh, so he's not an actual baby.
Well, he is a baby, but he's also stupid.
Oh,
Okay.
right. Yeah, I guess that does make. That's why they call them babies, because they're stupid.
Well, that's why we
Right.
call him stupid, because he's a baby.
Also true. Wow.
tomato potato, I guess. So
I mean, that answers all my questions.
Like I said, we're not very articulate, but we do say what we mean.
So, and sorry, I did want to just get this out. So baby Dinky is eating the hot dogs like the Cookie Monster. I just wanted to,
Yeah. What?
It's
Well, you can't really compare the two since cookies they crumble everywhere and stuff. But yeah,
Well, I mean, it looks like the hot dogs are crumbling everywhere.
well,
I mean,
it's
they're
more
just
like
shredding. Yeah. But it also, I mean, Baby
Those are
Dinky
sharp
has
teeth.
I was about to say really sharp teeth and sort of a lizard tongue. I
yeah,
didn't-
like I said, he may have had some sort of birth defect or something. His brain's so tiny, we're not really sure what
Oh.
happened.
You
to
think
him,
his tongue is long because his brain is so tiny.
Yeah, sometimes material gets swapped out in the pouch there when you're developing in the pouch as a koala, because he's a koala, So
it's like how when people like absorb
I'm
their.
not a koala. I'm experiment.
Oh
Okay.
wow!
Oh, you're really shushing
yeah,
him.
he needs to
physically now.
get back in the pouch. I think he's getting a bit testy. You don't.
Yeah,
like-
you're-
koalas get quite testy when they get tired.
You don't have to shove him in the pouch so aggressively, though. I don't.
Well,
think.
I'm just, I like to make sure that he's snug in there, so he doesn't fall out or something like that.
What was that? Was that for anything, or was it? Okay, no. I guess he just wanted to make his
Yeah,
trademark.
Crampy's just- I think
he's
he got
kind of a
bored.
goober.
Yeah, like he hadn't heard himself talk in a while, so he just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, now imagine that for 3 months in the steakhouse.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that would drive me crazy.
Okay, so if we wouldn't mind, we need to go ahead and
Well, I mean, we're all
destroy.
on Hot Dog 99. Do we want to dedicate this last one real quick to?
Yeah. And
I don't know.
let's-
Peace in the steakhouse.
Yeah, peace in the steakhouse. It's a good cause. We need lots of donations, so let's go ahead and
let's go ahead
do
and
that.
dip
Yes,
it in
it's
the
a very
cola.
popular organization because The steakhouse, not also known as the Outback, is full of all these different animals that are always eating and fighting each other. And then the cause that it's your cause. It's an organization that you started.
Well, yeah, we started it.
It prevents animals from eating each other.
Well, it just provides peace in general. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
it's just peace.
Oh,
But
just
we
like
need
a
lots
vibe.
but we
A
need
lot of
lots of
muzzles.
donations. Like we need tons of capital. That's what we really need. So we're looking for big time people to. We're not really looking so much for investments as we are donations. Because we've kind of got it all set up, so we just need money at this point, just donations that we can do with what we want to provide peace.
Okay,
It's all about peace.
All right, let's dedicate our final hot dog to peace in the steakhouse.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
Okay, I mean, Dr. London, I feel like that has to accomplish the chore, right?
Yeah, I think so. All right, so now we have to, of course, destroy the chore wheel like usual. So, now
We should probably I feel like Baby Dinky handle this one because he didn't really handle spinning the chore wheel.
Dinky angry.
Ooh, do you want to take out that anger on the chore wheel and destroy it for us?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a or a
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's still just falling right in between the two. So
let's just step back.
I'm just gonna
and
give
let
Baby
it
Dinky this
happen.
gun, and if you want to shoot the chore wheel, let's just give Baby Dinky a gun,
Well,
and if you
you
just
saw
want to
those teeth.
shoot
I
the
think
chore wheel,
He's really baring his teeth at it, is what I'm seeing.
oh, are you gonna eat it up? Okay, just let Baby Dinky go on it. Oh wow, that is very wet. Why is it so soaking wet? That process.
Very
I hate that.
tasty.
Oh man, that you were able to eat that whole thing after 100 hot dogs is very impressive.
Baby Dinky hungry.
Damn.
All right, so I feel like, so that's the chore wheel's done. So Reggie, I understand that, Baby Dinky and Crampy Koala are probably just good with, promoting their own brand. Is there anything you're a fan of that you want our listeners? Is there any way for listeners to keep up with you or with anything you're a fan of?
You mean besides Koala Cola?
Yeah.
Tastes just like Down Under. Okay. I've started a career as a country artist, and I know, I kind of want to be like the Keith Urban of the Perth area. So, so my name is Bucky Wildchild, because my other name is Bucky Wildchild. That's what my father always called me.
False identities.
If you look up on Instagram and TikTok, Bucky Wildchild, that's me.
Okay. Oh, so they're all you. Okay. Great. So for our listeners, go ahead and follow these accounts, see what he's posting. I'm guessing there's a lot there. Also, thank you to our producer Cameron. Thank you to Shane Fleg. Would you like to promote anything?
Yeah, just follow me on Facebook, friend me on Facebook, Shane Fleg, Shane, Fleg, and follow me on Instagram at Shane Fleg.
Okay.
Yeah, follow me on Insta, Shane Fleg.
Okay.
I post a lot of good stuff. There are a lot of very knowledgeable things.
Are you on Twitter now?
I
just thought
do
of your
have
other
a Twitter account at Shane Fleg. I tweet lots of good knowledge, good tidbits.
So thank you to our intern Shane Fleg.
Not an intern.
Thank you to Reggie for coming along. Thank you to Crampy Koala.
Tastes just like Down Under.
That's right, mate.
Yeah, thank you to Baby Dinky Koala for coming on.
Baby Dinky hungry.
God, he creeps me out so much.
Thank you to Digital in the House.
Baby Dinky hungry.
Digital in the House.
Oh, yeah. Let me clear this up for you guys. The whole thing about Koala Koala, right? The whole thing about Koala Koala, right? It tastes just like Down Under, right? It tastes just like Down Under, right? The whole thing about Koala Koala, right? The whole about Koala Koala, tastes just like Down Under, right? It tastes just like Down Under, right? The whole thing about Koala Koala, right? The whole thing about it tastes like Down Under, right? It tastes just like Down Under, right?
Tiny and cute, but has a bad temper. Baby Dinky grew up in the steakhouse. Baby Dinky get mad.
My name is Dr. LondonSmith.com, and this has been the Jock Doc Podcast.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Our intern Shane knows a lot of stuff that Dr. London has been paid to not talk about. Things like the cumin gizzard,